Hello friends, in this tutorial we will learn how to create a comma separated value file using C# language. So as you can see, this is the CSV file that we are generating. We have the number, name, age and address header, and then the values corresponding to that one separated by a comma. Now you can change the values as well as the header files. We can also create semicolon separated files and also pipe symbol separated files. You can even create a tab separated file using this program. So this tutorial is aimed at a beginner who is new to C# and want to learn about comma separated value files and how to create them. So our first aim is to teach you how to create a simple text file, write data into that simple text file and read the same data back. In the next section, we will teach you how to create a CSV file, send data to that particular CSV file from an array, and then to read back that particular comma separated values. Now the program is quite flexible and you can easily change the delimiter from comma to colon, semicolon or a pipe symbol. You can also create a tab separated value file using C#. So now we'll begin our tutorial. If you like our tutorial, do like and subscribe. If you have any doubts, you can put it in our comment section. I'll try to answer it. Before we start, I would like to inform you that we also have a website from which you can read the whole tutorial in the form of a text. Now all the source codes that are used in our tutorial are available on our website. So you can also find the links to the various IDs used in this particular tutorial. Now you can also find segments of code here. The full code is actually available in our GitHub repo. You can find the full source code here and the VS project also for this particular tutorial. You can also download it directly from our website. The link to both the GitHub and the tutorial website is available in the description. Now for this tutorial, I'll be using the Visual Studio 2022 Community Edition. Now, if you don't want to use the Visual Studio 2022, you can also use the .NET SDK command line tools. So if you are new to the .NET SDK command line tools, we have a tutorial on our website also, this one, where it will teach you how to create various types of project using the .NET SDK CLI system. And .NET SDK is available on both Linux, Macs and Windows. We also have a video for this particular one on our YouTube channel. If you want, you can check it out. So here we'll be using mostly Visual Studio, this one. Now we'll create a new project for our CSV writer. So click on the create new project. Now we'll be creating a console project for C#. So you can click on the console app, go for next. You can put a location here. So I will create something called as CSV writer. So we'll go for the .NET 8.0 long-term support version. So we'll create here. Now our project is ready. Now we'll start coding on this one. Now we have created a simple basic framework. Now we'll start coding into this one. Now to create a CSV text file, first we will learn how to create a simple text file. For that we will use the StreamWriter class from the C# library. So we will just call the StreamWriter. So we have the StreamWriter. So we'll call it the text writer equal to new StreamWriter. Now we have to create a new file. So we are using this one. Now we have to give some arguments in the constructor of the StreamWriter. So you can just give the name of the file you want to create. So I'll just call it my text file.txt. Now this will create a text file inside the hard disk. Now to make sure that the resources used by the StreamWriter are closed, we have to use the using statement. So you can use something like using, then close the whole thing in. This makes sure that whatever the resources that are used by the text writer are closed after the it has been completed, after the actions on that one has been completed. So we'll run this code. The code has run. Now you can check the hard disk. So you can go to your project folder. Here, this is our project folder, CSV Writer. So inside that one, you have to go under the bin, debug, net 8.0, and here you can find a myfile.txt that we have created. So this file is empty because we have not written anything into this one. So if you open this one, it will be completely empty. So this is how you create a text file. Now make sure that this thing is inside the debug net 8.0. So now if you have, once again, that's because if you are using the debug mode, if you are using the release mode, that will be inside the release .NET 8.0. So if I run this thing, the file will be created in a different location. Now this will be created under the release folder. So if you go inside the CSV Writer, bin, release, you can find the text file here. So this is inside the release one. So you have to be careful about which option you are selecting here, either debug or release. So I'll go back to the debug version. You can also explicitly say where the file has to be created. For example, you can simply say @C:/. So this will be created inside the C mytextfile.txt folder. So you have to give the @ here so that the backslashes are preserved. So I will not be using that one. I will be just going with the, now we want to write something into the text file. So you can use the various methods provided by the StreamWriter class. So you can write text writer here. That is the object that we are creating using the StreamWriter class. So will be text writer dot, you can find various methods. So you can use the write or the write line method. This will write some text into the text file and it will add a new line character. So you have to give the quotes and you will simply say hello world. Now if you run this thing will be written into the myfile.txt. So I'll run it. So here I'm using the debug solution configuration. So the text file will be inside that particular bin debug net 8.0 and you can find your mytextfile.txt. So you can find the hello world here. Now you should know one thing, that we are opening the file without using the append mode. So every time you are writing it, that file will be created new and all the data that was previously present in that file will be deleted. So if you run it several times, the file will only contain a single hello world. Now you can open the file in such a way that the data is appended. So the file data that was already present will not be destroyed. So that for that purpose, you have to use the true option from inside the constructor. So you can give it true here. So if you run this thing, hello world will be appended. So we'll run it. So you can see there is a 2 hello world here because this was the first one we have created. And when we run it again, the second one was appended to the other one. Now if I run it another time, there will be a 3rd hello world. This is because we are appending to the file due to this true value. If there is no true, it will be completely destroyed and there will be only 1 hello world. So now there will be 3. So this is how you write into the file. I'll change the true once more. So now all that data will be gone and there will be a single hello world. Yeah, like this. So you can either use the append version or the other one, depending upon your application. Now I have made some changes to our old program. Now I have created a string variable called as file name, which shall be used to store the name of the file. So earlier we used to give this text everywhere. So I will just use this particular thing, file name, and I will give it wherever we have to give the file name. So this will make it more easy to change the name of your file. Now I have created another string array called as text to write. It will contain 3 lines of text, first line, second line, and third line. This will write into the text file. So I am using the same system here. We'll use the StreamWriter and we will open the file, myfile.txt, and we'll be using a for each loop. By using this for each loop, we'll be writing the 3 strings, first line, second line, third line, into the text using the text writer dot write line s. So this will write the first line to the text, then it will write the second line, then it will write the third line. So then we will read the same thing back from the file. Now here we will read back the data that we have written into the text file. So you will use the StreamReader text reader and we will open the connection to the file using the file name variable. Then we'll use this particular variable line to get each line. So it will check while line equal to text reader dot read line. So it will copy the first line to the line and check whether it is equal to null. So if it is not equal to null, it will print that particular line. So when it reaches the end of the line, it becomes null and the loop exits. So if you run this program, it will write these 3 lines into the text file and read it back. So this is the lines that has been read back from the file. You can open the file and check it. So if you want, you can check it, change the file extension also. Most CSV file will have a .csv file extension, and you can call it as my CSV file if you want. So most CSV files are text files. Now if you go inside the debug folder, you can find that a file, my CSV file.csv is present. You can open it using a text file and you can find the same thing, first line, second line, third line. Now this is the basic format of a comma separated variable text file. So we will have a header which will show what all values we are storing in the CSV file in the CSV format. So here it will be number, name, age, address. So the one corresponds to the number, name will be Alice, age will be 30, and the address will be this one. So this is how the data is stored inside a CSV text file. So first, when we are creating a CSV text file, we have to create a header. Then we have to write the data. These are all comma separated variables. You can also create column separated values, semicolon separated values like this one if you want to by changing the separator. You can also create tab like this one, and you can also use the pipe symbol for separating the various parameters. So you can do all these things by using our code. Now in the previous section, we learned how to create a text file using C#. We learned how to read and write into that particular text file. Now in this section, we will learn how to create a CSV file using the data from an array. Now we are using this particular file, write CSV data to file.cs. This is available on our GitHub repo. You can download it from there and run it. I have made some changes in this particular program. We now have something called a string separate character, which is used to define the separator character. So in this case, we'll be using a comma. So it is called as a comma separated values file. You can also use any other character like a colon, a semicolon, or a pipe symbol. You can easily change it by changing this particular value. So if I give it pipe symbol, then the characters will be separated by using this particular symbol. So I will stick with the comma here. So I'll put a comma right here. And we have another string, which is called as CSV file name. So in this particular variable, you can define the name of the text file. So I'm naming the text file as csv textfile.csv. So this will be the name of the file that we are going to create. The other array I want to tell you is the header text array. So every CSV file will have a header that will tell what the corresponding values are. So here we'll be using some generic value, and we have put all these things inside a string array. So the first one is number, name, age, and address. So these are inside an array. So we will use this particular array to write the header file. Now we will be using another array, a two-dimensional array, so which is called as CSV data array. This will contain all the information that we'll be writing into the text file. So we have the data corresponding to number 1 here, name is Alice, age is 30, and then the address data. All these are stored in the text format, and we will then write this into the text file. So we are doing it just for demonstration purpose. Usually this data can be from other sources, such as from a USB or a serial port, or it can be from a database or any other network stream or something like that. So in this case, for demonstration purpose, we will be using this array. Now you can change the array if you want, or you can increase the number of rows and columns. So you have to make corresponding changes here also. Now we have a string CSV header text. So this will be the one that we are going to use to write the header of that particular CSV file. So we will use the string.join function. So we will use a separated character, that is the comma, this one, and then we will use the header text array. So that is an array, string array, that we have to give it here. So the string.join will convert the whole this thing into a single character, which is separated by comma. So then we will just write this particular string using that file writer. So we can create the header file. So I'll run it to show you something. So I'll be displaying the CSV header text right now. So this is the header text that will be writing into the text file. Now here we are going to do the actual writing in this code segment. So we have enclosed the whole thing inside a try catch exception handling code, and inside that we will be writing the data. So like the earlier one, we'll be using the using statement. Then we'll use a StreamWriter, fwriter. So we'll create a file name using CSV file name. So it will create a file with the name, this one, and that we will use the fwriter, and we will use the fwriter write line to write the header text. That will be this one after it is joined with the separator character. So this will write the first line to the CSV file, and then we will use a for loop, actually 2 for loops to write the data from the 2D array. Inside the first for loop, we'll create a string builder called SB, and then inside the second for loop, we will append each character using the array notation to the string builder SB. So once the first character is appended, we will append the separated character. So it will be like Alice, comma 1, comma Alice, like that. So once the first line is completely appended, we will reduce the length of the string builder, because we don't want the trailing comma. There will be one trailing comma here. So it will reduce that trailing comma, and then we will write that data into the. So then we'll use the fwriter.writeLine to write that value to the text file. Now I'll run the code. So this is the header. Now, as you can see, there is one trailing comma here. So that is what we will be removing using the sp.length minus minus. So here I am just showing that particular trailing comma here. So once that is completed, it won't be there. I will show it. As you can see, we have a trailing comma. Then after sb dot length minus minus, no trailing comma. So this will be the one line that will be written into the text file. You have to go inside the debug. Then we can find the CSV text file.csv. And you can see the header here. This is the header. Then first one. This is the data that we have written into the CSV text file. So you can also change the separated character. I'll show it now. So you can go here and you can change into a pipe symbol. So we'll run it again. Now everything is separated by pipe symbol. So if you go inside this one, you can see that the whole data is separated by pipe symbol. You can also use the column or semicolon character. Now you can also create a tab separated file. So for that you have to give the \t value here. Then you can run the file. So this will look something like this one. And we can see the same thing. Inside this one also. This is a tab separated file. You can actually export it into a Excel file or a LibreOffice Calc file. Now in this file, we are going to read the data from a CSV text file. In the previous example, we have written some data into the CSV file. So make sure that some data is written into the text file first. Then only you can read this thing. So we have the same thing. But here instead of StreamWriter, we are using the StreamReader. So StreamReader, CSV Reader, new StreamReader, and then we have to give the correct file name. The file name of the file that we want to read. Now, first we declare a variable called line. So that is used to read the line, every line from the CSV text file. So here inside this while loop, we will use the CSV Reader .readLine property to read a single line from the file. That line will be stored in this particular variable. I will check whether that line is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, it means that there is some data inside the line value. So it will be in the form of a comma separated variable. So you can use this particular function line.split, and it will split the line into individual characters or individual strings at the comma. So if you use a comma separated variable, you have to give the comma here. If it is a pipeline separator, you have to give the pipe character here. So we are using a comma separated variable here. So we'll give the comma variable here. Then I'm just displaying the value using a for each loop. So it will display the characters one by one on the console. So after this, you can use that particular value for your purpose. So this is how you read a text file, CSV text file using C#. Now, if you have any doubts, please do comment in the comment section. And if you like our video, do say like. You can also check out our GitHub repo and website. Hope this video was useful, and you can build your own CSV reader writer program using this code. So all the code is on the GitHub. So do check it out.